Yo! What's up, everyone? Second Channel Ram back again with a brand new video. To be specific, another month of EVO episode. We're in the third week now, entering the third week of month of EVO. This week is EVO, so only today, tomorrow, and Thursday we'll be doing games, and then Friday, Saturday, and Sunday I'll be covering what happens during EVO. But yeah, in today's episode, since start of the week, and we're coming to the end of the 2D fighting games. Today, we'll be talking about my favorite fighting game of all time. Today, we'll be talking about none other than Street Fighter 4.
Feel it coming over me. I feel it all around me. I've been waiting for this moment all my life. It's my destiny. Cause I'm tired to settle me. It's waiting to come out now. No matter what, no matter how, I know I'll make it through somehow. Cause when the road feels so long, I'll still be holding on. I'm gonna keep on going. I know I'll be strong. Yeah, indestructible. I won't let nobody break me down. Indestructible. Nothing's gonna stop me now. Indestructible. Gonna make you gonna keep on going. Indestructible. The last man standing. I'm waiting for whatever. I'm never giving up. Nothing can break my spirit. 'Cause this thing is indestructible. Yeah.
Street Fighter 4.
Ain't that just a banger opening if you haven't already seen it? So, there's a lot to unpack here because not only is Street Fighter 4 very content heavy, very mechanic different, and very visually different than any Street Fighter before it came out, and any we talked about so far. So, until Lordom. This is probably the first game I really took fighting games seriously. So, I originally played this a long time ago. My dad had a PS3, so he had this game. I played very little, and I was same situation with Street Fighter 2. So I didn't know anything. I didn't get past the third stage on arcade mode. I didn't know how to unlock characters. It was base Street Fighter 4, so we're talking about base Street Fighter 4 as well. No Ultra. That's probably a different episode for that. But yeah, anyways, so I just never got into it. But recently, like 3-4 years ago, I got back into it because I saw a TikTok on a different fighting game, and it kind of, for some reason, brought me back to Street Fighter 4. Then I got back into Street Fighter 4, then I kind of started my whole getting into fighting games as a whole. So yeah, that's kind of a little biased already. But before we talk about lore, let's just talk about what is Street Fighter 4. So it is a fourth game in the Street Fighter history. There was Street Fighter 1, Street Fighter 2, the alphas, and Street Fighter 3. Now it's taking out the fourth exact one because there's multiple versions of 2, multiple versions of alpha, and multiple versions of 3. But it's the fourth one, so yeah. Now this game is the first game in Street Fighter so far that does 3D models and artwork and all that stuff. So in Third Strike, there was still 8-bit, kind of just 8-bit. And then this game introduced 3D and a whole different art style to it. So that's kind of the first why. I feel like I'm not the only one who thinks Street Fighter 4 is like one of the best Street Fighters, or just a fighting game. But yeah, it just has a very special place, you know. It's like one of the first fighting games I got into, and yeah. So base Street Fighter 4 has a pretty big roster. It's bigger than Street Fighter 6's base roster and Street Fighter 5's base roster, I think. But yeah, so we have 25 characters, so you can get, it lets you start off with 16. They made 8, you know, Ryu, Ken, Chun-Li, Guile, Blanca, Zonkia, Dalsum, and Honda. Then there's the 4 villains, which starts off playable. Bison, Sagat, Balrog, and Vega. Now already this is different from Third Strike and any of the 3s, because half of those people don't even appear at all in them. Like, the only ones who got carried over were Ryu, Ken, and Chun-Li. So that's already a start. That's completely better, maybe, for some people. Better than Third Strike roster-wise. But then we get 4 new characters. Sea Viper, Rufus, El Fuerte, and Apple. Which is trying to be the MC. Kind of like Alex in Street Fighter 3. But yeah, there's that. Then we have 9 unlocked secret fighters. There's 4 more. They got Rose, Cammy, Fei Long, Dan, Sakura, Akuma, and Goken. Yeah. So all of them have came over from previous games. So Dan, Rose, Sakura, and what's it called? Yeah, just those 3 came from Alpha. Then Fei Long, Cammy, and Akuma came from 2. Oh no, again also came from Alpha. And then the new character, Goken, who is not completely new. You know of existence in Alpha, is a Ryu and Ken's master, and also Akuma's brother. So he gets his own character slot here. He's a brand new character. And then Seth, which is also a new character in Street Fighter up to this point. He doesn't appear at all or mentioned at all before this, so he's new. Now each of those last 8 characters I mentioned, you have to unlock them in certain ways. So I think you have to clear Ryu to unlock Sakura, and then you have to clear Sakura to unlock Dan. declare Apple to unlock Fei Long. See Viper to unlock Cammy. I don't remember all of them, but I know Akuma, Goken, and Seth were the most complicated because you have to. For Goken, you had to already have Akuma, and for Gokuma, you have to basically fight him, unlock him, like fight him in the arcade mode, which is a secret boss. If you clear the arcade mode in a certain way, you have to get like a couple perfects and not lose, get no continues. So then you get a Akuma. Then you have to do all these other extra stuff. I don't even remember. Had to get a Goken, but yeah, you have to already have Akuma. You have to have everybody else before him. And yeah, then Seth, you have to clear everybody's arcade mode. So I'm just remembering, Seth was so hard to clear. He's way more powerful as a last boss, and he's an Ultra. He gets heavily nerfed in Ultra, I feel like. He's much easier to beat in Ultra, and here he's super hard. Like, I remember me and my brother, when we first played on this, we were like so relieved when we beat him. It took us like 1,000 tries to beat him once. We had to do so many continues, so we were not unlocking him. Goken. I mean, not yet. Goken or Akuma. But yeah, he's just a really hard opponent. He's so annoying to deal with. Unless you're really good, which I'm very moderate, but I wasn't good enough back then. But yeah. So roster-wise, it has a very unique roster. There's only 5 new characters, so the 4, then also 6, 5. The 4, then Goken and Seth are new. So yeah. Anyways, now let's talk about gameplay, because yeah, gameplay is different from Third Strike. So you have your normal stuff, your normal command inputs. I feel like a lot more characters have charge moves in this game than any other previous Street Fighter. So like Chun-Li, Bison, and Balrog, I know off the top of my head I'll have a few charge moves. Are charge characters. Now I know Vega and Guile have a very unique Ultra command. It's really complicated, even to this day I still can't land it sometimes. Like, it's a charge. It's a weird charge ultimate. I mean Ultra. This is where they were called Ultras, and then Protocols came in SF5 and SF6. So yeah. But yeah, everybody has like normal commands and inputs for stuff. I remember like first learning about this, it looks so complicated, but we figured it out. It was actually very easy to land some of these. Like, we had to YouTube some of them, even though it was pretty easy to do. But yeah. Anyways, I'm getting too much into the lore, but there's that. Now the main new mechanic in this game is focus attack, which is basically when you hold down, I think, the mediums, you can like invade certain attacks, and it's like punish counter in SF6, except not as effective, but it's very different. It's kind of like a better parry. I don't know, because you can use it to parry, sort of, if you're really good. But yeah, there's focus attack, which you can go through opponent's attacks, and then they get stunned, and then you can do combos into that. Use an ultra, use a super. There's a super and an ultra meter. This is, I think, the first introduction of this. So there's 4 bars, and then each one you can use for an EX. So yeah, you can use that, or you can save up for a super and do that. Then if you get damage enough, you have an ultra. So now it is not until Ultra Street Fighter 4 where you get the double ultra, but yeah, you only get 1 here. So yeah, really good. You can cancel out of focus attacks into other stuff. Like, if you've seen EVO clips and stuff like that, people doing that, you can really do that kind of stuff. I can't, because I'm not very good. But yeah, focus attack is very cancelable. You can cancel. You can like just use it as a parry, then immediately switch to something else. But yeah. Now let's talk about design-wise, because it's very different from what it was in the previous game. This is the first 3D Street Fighter, I guess. So there's 3D models. Everybody looks pretty good, honestly. Some characters look better than others. Like Ryu looks super good. It's probably one of my favorite versions of Ryu. Um, Ken looks. This is the last time Ken looks good because in Street Fighter 5 he looks weird. Street Fighter 6 he's homeless. So this is probably the last game he looks good in. Akuma looks cool. Fei Long looks cool. Like all these characters look good. There's almost none bad looking characters in base Street Fighter 4. Stages are all 3D. There's people interacting in the background. It's just very cool. It's a very good looking game. It kind of has a very kind of it has another Street Fighter like feels like I was talking about in Third Strike and in XR Rev 2. Like it feels like the name Street Fighter because it has like a very the whole focus attack kind of leaks into some of the design, like with the character names, kind of the art, the raw feeling of it just feels very cool. But yeah, maybe it's just me being biased, but I just like the design features, some of the design choices for this game in general. Portraits for some characters look really cool. I think this is the first game where when you beat somebody, there's dialogue of specific towards a character. I don't know if they do that in Third Strike. It didn't seem like they did, but in here they did. So yeah. Alright, now let's talk about some modes because there's actually quite a few different modes in this game. There's arcade mode, which has anime cutscenes at the beginning and at the end. And there's rivals, so once your 7th opponent in your run, you call them your rival. So it's just like a normal fight, except there's a cutscene before you fight them, and it's like it's specific towards the character. So like Ryu's is Sagat, which they have history. Ken's is Rufus, which is weird, but Rufus wants to fight Ken. It's his whole lore. So they're each other's rivals. Who else? I'm pretty sure a couple of people's rivals are Bison. Bison's rival is Sea Viper, maybe? I forgot who. But like everybody has a rival, so that's very. I don't know if that happens in Third Strike or in any other version before this. Definitely not Street Fighter 2 or 1. But I'm not sure. But yeah, there's rivals in this game, so everybody has a special connection to these rivals. They have a cutscene. Then after you beat Seth, there's a cutscene afterwards animated. Now some of them intertwine with each other, like some endings intertwine with each other. So the whole story of Street Fighter 4 is actually way different than any game before. So they had a story from 1 through 2, 1, 2, and Alpha's whole had like 1. Then Street Fighter 3 had a whole different story, which doesn't really get explained that good until Street Fighter 5. But Street Fighter 4 has its own story, which is recorded chronologically. It's Street Fighter 1, then Alpha, then 4, then 5, then 3, then 6. So yeah, it's kind of in a weird position, but yeah. So there's a story, which all of them eventually fight Seth, that's kind of the main point. But some people do other things with that, like some important lore characters do different things. Now, you can't actually buy Street Fighter 4 on Steam anymore. You can get on the Xbox store, not on Switch. I just want to throw that in case you want to play Street Fighter 4. You can. You can play Ultra. Ultra is very more accessible. But yeah. So there's also trials, which at first they just show you how to do each character. Then they do combo trials, so you get to do kind of different stuff with them. Actually, this is a game I have a bunch of characters completed. A few different characters I have already completed their combo trials. So, yeah, I have a few characters. I think like 5 at least that I finished. Which in SF6 I only have like 1. So, there's also survival and time travel. And time attack? What are those two? I think it's time attack. So, you get a certain amount of time, and each time you win, depending on what you do in the battle, you get more time added to your scores, so you eventually don't lose. And survival, you just carry over your health through each battle. So if you almost die the first round, then it carries over, you get a bit of health back. And yeah, so you have to do a certain amount to win each as you go down, there's harder versions. There's different ones. Some you get infinite meter, all those kind of things for survival. And probably time travel. I never really did time attack. I only did survival and trials. So yeah, this is the first game I think as well that also does online. So you can play online, queue up with somebody. I think this, well, I don't know if people play now. I remember a couple months ago I was playing and somebody actually, I got queued up with somebody, so that was pretty cool. Some people still play the base version, so that's very nice. There's a gallery where you can see everybody's cutscenes, just random movies, artwork, base concept art from SF4. There's yeah, you can just see all that kind of stuff. There's a mode where you can see all your wins you can have done over the years, how much time you use them, and all that good stuff. So yeah, now is SF4 the best Street Fighter today? Probably not, but it's my personal favorite. Just have an attachment to it. It's the first fighting game I really got into. It's really what got me into Street Fighter as a whole. And yeah, but that's just my personal opinion. Very biased. Overall, oh my god, the music is great in this game as well. It's the best game music, best music in the game from all versions. Again, a lot of bias here, but that's just me. I actually prefer base Street Fighter 4 in some ways over Ultra, because they take away a lot of modes that were in SF4 in Ultra, which sucks bad. The main thing I like about Ultra is the roster. So, and they change a lot of different. I'll get to that different time because I probably will talk about Ultra in another video. So yeah, the music's great, the visuals are great, the mechanics are good, very mode heavy. And speaking of the back to the modes, there's normal modes. So there's survival normal and survival hard. So if you get better, you can adapt and you can get stronger. There's different harder modes and stuff like that. So yeah, it's been an EVO a lot of times. I'm assuming ever since Street Fighter 5 came out, it's been there, and probably Ultra as well. So yeah, it's when I'm not even sure when it came out. I'll check my list right now. It came out in July of 2008. I'm not sure if that means in arcades or in consoles. But either way, it's been out for almost 20 years. So it's a little bit older. It's probably been out since it came out. So July is EVO month, so it might have been at EVO the year it came out, or the year after. Probably the year after, so it's been at EVO for a long time. And yeah, if it came back to EVO, I might want to join that as the competition, you know, but we'll see. So, long story short, Street Fighter 4, the best game, in my opinion, my favorite fighting game of all time. And yeah, if you have an Xbox, play it. It's a very monumental game as well. After the flop of Third Strike, or Street Fighter 3 as a whole, Street Fighter 4 kind of brought everybody back, and it was just a great game. It's just a great game. But you know, it's a lot of bias, so yeah, I'm just gonna stop, man. If you guys did enjoy this video, like it, subscribe, yeah, comment. I'll see you guys tomorrow for day 16 of month of EVO. See if you guys did enjoy. Come join tomorrow, and yeah.